The Battle of the Nile, the brilliant strategy that redefined supremacy at sea and the course of history. Imagine the gentle breeze of an Egyptian night, whispering through the still sails of the ships anchored in Abukir Bay. The moon casts a silvery glow over the calm sea, and the French soldiers rest, confident that they are safe in their defensive haven. But in the darkness, out of sight, Horatio Nelson, the British admiral, commands his fleet with surgical precision. For him, this is not just another battle. It is an opportunity to alter the course of the war and cement British dominance at sea forever. Every minute counts. He knows that such an opportunity will never come again. The Battle of the Nile would not be just a naval engagement. It would become one of the most epic military maneuvers ever recorded, with a profound impact on the global balance of power. The geopolitical landscape. Egypt as a strategic hotspot. In the late 18th century, Europe was engulfed in wars and territorial disputes. The French Revolution had overthrown ancient monarchies and profoundly transformed society. At the center of this turmoil was Napoleon Bonaparte, an ambitious general who sought to expand French power beyond Europe's borders. His campaign in Egypt was part of a complex and bold strategy to establish a strong presence in the eastern Mediterranean, disrupt British trade routes to India, and project French influence into the Middle East. Napoleon chose Egypt with clear strategic objectives. Controlling Egypt meant securing a bridge between Europe and the East and directly threatening British supremacy. In addition to its military might, the expedition also carried scholars, architects, and scientists, an effort to discover and document Egypt's riches. France sought not only military dominance, but also cultural dominance. This campaign represented a symbol of glory for France and an existential threat to Great Britain. The British Royal Navy, aware of the risks, knew it needed to act quickly and accurately. If Napoleon were to succeed in consolidating his position in Egypt, the balance of power in the Mediterranean would shift dramatically, weakening Britain and jeopardizing its vital trade routes. Nelson and the Hunt in the Mediterranean, a journey of persistence and resilience. As soon as Nelson received information about the French movement, he set out on a frantic search across the Mediterranean. Navigating the vast waters of the Mediterranean was no easy task. The unpredictable weather and lack of accurate information made the mission extremely challenging. Nelson and his crew spent weeks at sea, facing adverse winds and difficult navigation. Tensions grew with each passing day, as Nelson knew that a French victory in Egypt would be a devastating blow to British hegemony. Even in the face of challenges, Nelson maintained high morale among his men. He was known not only for his strategic skill, but also for his ability to inspire confidence and determination. For Nelson, every member of his crew was essential, and he believed that victory would only be possible if everyone fought with discipline and purpose. Finally, after weeks of exhaustive searching, he received the news he had been waiting for. The French fleet was anchored in Abukir Bay. Abukir Bay, a trap or an opportunity. Abukir Bay presented both opportunities and dangers. The French believed that the geography of the bay protected them. Sandbanks and shallow waters made it difficult for an enemy fleet to navigate. The French felt safe and anchored their ships in a defensive line, trusting that nature would protect them from any surprise attack. To many commanders, the situation would have seemed impossible. Attacking in such unfavorable conditions could easily have resulted in disaster. Nelson, however, saw the layout of the bay as a unique opportunity. He realized that although the French formation was strong, there were gaps that could be exploited. He decided to divide his fleet into two columns, attacking both from the front and the rear, where the French did not expect to be hit. The tactic was risky. Any mistake could result in the British ships running aground. However, Nelson trusted his crew and believed that surprise would be his greatest advantage. The confrontation breaks, the chaos of war on the high seas. As the British ships approached silently, the darkness of night still covered the bay. The first shot echoed like thunder, breaking the silence and announcing the beginning of a fierce battle. Immediately, chaos took over the battlefield. The smoke from the cannons covered the sky, making it difficult to distinguish friend from foe. The sea turned into The battle was a whirlwind of destruction, with ships ablaze and sailors desperately struggling to keep their vessels afloat. Sailors scurried back and forth, carrying gunpowder and cannonballs, while officers shouted orders amid the confusion. Every shot was a gamble, an attempt to destroy the enemy before they could retaliate. The British, led by Nelson's strategic vision, managed to maintain discipline amid the chaos, delivering precise blows that dismantled the French defensive line. The explosion of the Lorient, a decisive moment. At the climax of the battle, one of the most dramatic moments in naval history occurred. The gigantic French flagship, Lorient, was hit by a direct hit. Tons of gunpowder were stored on board, and within seconds, a colossal explosion lit up the sky. The magnitude of the explosion was so intense that debris from the ship was thrown miles away, and the psychological impact on the French forces was devastating. The destruction of Lorient marked a turning point in the battle. The French sailors, stunned by the explosion, lost their will to fight. Many began to surrender, while others tried to flee in the confusion. For the British, the explosion was a clear sign that victory was at hand, and Nelson seized the moment to intensify the attack. Leadership in chaos. Nelson's resilience. Even though he was wounded by shrapnel during the battle, Nelson refused to relinquish command. His presence on deck, guiding his men through the battle, was essential to maintaining high morale. He demonstrated that true leadership is not just about giving orders, but about inspiring confidence in times of crisis. His men admired him not only as a commander, but as a leader who was willing to fight alongside them to the end. Nelson's ability to make quick and effective decisions amidst chaos was crucial to the success of the mission. Even when the battle seemed about to spiral out of control, he remained calm and led his fleet with mastery, ensuring that every move was calculated and precise. Victory and global impact. A new order at sea. When dawn finally arrived, Abukir Bay was strewn with wreckage. Destroyed or captured French ships floated in the waters, and the survivors struggled to regroup. The British victory was complete and decisive. The French fleet had been annihilated, and Napoleon's plans for Egypt were in ruins. The impact of the Battle of the Nile was profound and lasting. The victory cemented British naval supremacy in the Mediterranean, ensuring that trade routes to India remained secure. In addition, the French defeat significantly weakened Napoleon's strategic position, forcing him to abandon his plans for expansion in the Middle East. Enduring lessons: leadership, strategy, and perseverance. The Battle of the Nile is more than a military confrontation. It is a lesson in leadership and strategy. Nelson demonstrated that courage and vision are essential to winning in adverse conditions. His ability to see opportunities where others saw only risks is a powerful example of how audacity can turn the impossible into reality. A story that continues to inspire. The story of the Battle of the Nile is a testament to the power of leadership and determination. It teaches us that even in the face of the greatest challenges, it is possible to find a solution and turn difficulties into opportunities. If you were inspired by this epic tale, subscribe to the channel and leave your comment below. See you in the next video. And remember, true victory begins in the mind and heart. See you soon.